Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demo in the UK, and I am continuing today with my card making for beginners course. If you've been with me from the start, you will have known we've made some lovely projects, and also there are scattered in between the projects there are some tips and tricks and technique videos. So do go back and have a look. I think this is number 35, so there's quite a few videos to watch, but most of the titles explain what they are, so you can pick out the ones that you think you'd like to watch. And today we're going to make this a pretty little project with this stamp set, Art Gallery. So in our new spring mini catalogue, it's absolutely lovely. It's a two-step stamp set, which means that you stamp one image and then you stamp another image on top. And you can either do that by using the same colour ink and stamping off the first image, so you don't take the first generation stamp, you stamp it on something else and then stamp it so you get a lighter image, and then stamp over top with the full strength image and you get that two-tone effect. I've actually used two different colours on mine. The great thing about Stampin' Up is that all our colours coordinate, they all tone, so you can mix and match and you'll get a good result every time. I've used Pool Party and Bermuda Bay for my flower here. But you could use any colour. So like I say, if you've just got a single stamp set, you can stamp off. So stamp the first one on and something else and then stamp it and then use a full strength one the next. I'm actually going to use two colours today. This one, like I said, I did in Pool Party and Bermuda Bay with Granny Apple Green stems. Today I'm going to use Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape with Granny Apple Green stem and leaves. And I'm going to show you how to step it up. So I started off with this project, this little card here. This is made on one of our note cards, so these come cut and scored so that you can use them straight away. There are thick basic white cardstock, really smooth, so you get a lovely stamping image on them. Really quick and easy to do this one, so I'm going to show you that one first and then we're going to step it up a bit. So this is essentially the same stamping, but I've just stepped it up a little bit with a border. So I've matted onto here's a bigger card, obviously I've matted it, and then I've put another strip of card across and I've punched out my greeting and mounted it on some dimensionals just to give a little bit of dimension. So you get two cards very similar, but you can see this one just looks a bit more like it's got a bit more to it really. So we're going to start with this one, and I've just remembered I've forgotten to get out my note card that I need, so I'm just going to go over here. Luckily everything is in my room, so I don't have to go far. There we go. So these are one of our note cards. Comes already scored. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's very faint. But if you bend it, you will see that you can just bend it really easy. You get a nice straight crease. So you might need a bone folder to just, or something else that you can use. The handle of a knife or something like that, something hard and that you can just use to press down. You can see that's still popping up. They are because it's such thick cardstock. So if you turn it the other way, what this does is just breaks up some of the fibres in the cardstock and helps it to lay a bit flatter. So there, so it's still popping up, but that's fine. Right, okay, so I'm going to use Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape for my flowers today. Haven't tried it out yet, so it might go wrong, might go okay. Let's just see. So I'm going to take the biggest image. So we've got two images here. Let me show you on the stamp. So I'm using this image and this image. So this is the sort of the basic image, and then this one stamps some highlights in a darker colour. So here I've stamped the bigger one in Pool Party and the highlights in Bermuda Bay. So let's take that first stamp, get it nice and inky. I'm using the right colour, aren't I? Yes. And we're going to just make sure it is inked all over, and we're going to stamp it about there, I think. Beautiful. Okay, it's not as light as I thought it was going to be though, so I don't know how well the Gorgeous Grape is going to show up on top of that, but we will give it a try. It might be a good idea to test some of these before you stamp them, unlike me going straight headlong into it. And now I'm going to get my Gorgeous Grape, and again I'm going to get this nice and inky, and I'm going to hope that this is enough of a contrast on here Otherwise I'm going to get another note card and start again. Oh no, that's fine. It's quite dark, but it's fine. That's quite a good contrast there. Good, yeah. And then just the leaves. So you can see how quick this project is, this card is to do. If you need a card in a hurry, this is a perfect project to do, because you will have a card in literally minutes. This doesn't seem to be very evenly inked, this pad. I keep getting light and dark patches. I'm going to have to sort that out. Okay, I'm going to stamp there, and I'm deliberately doing it over to one side because I want a little leave of space here for my message, for my sentiment. And there we go. And then lastly, I'm going to take my message, and I'm going to do a thank you card today. So I've just sorted all my cards out into boxes so that I've got them all sorted into birthday cards, thank you cards, thinking of you cards. And actually my thank you box was looking a bit sparse, so I'm gonna do some thank you cards. I have a lot of thank you cards to send out, so they never get left over. And that is it. Basically, that is all that you need to do for that project. So if you are a complete beginner card maker, that is so easy to do. They're clear stamps, so you can see through them really easily. And you don't actually need two colours of ink. If you've only got two colours, you need a green or something to do the leaves, and then a colour for the flower. And that is literally all that you need, and a set of note cards. So you don't need to have a lot of resources to get started and make beautiful cards like that. But we are now going to step it up a bit. So we're going to have a go at making one like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock. This measures 14.5 centimetres by 21 centimetres. So I'm going to score at 10.5. If you're working in inches, it is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. It's 8 1/4. Sorry, I had a bit of a mind blank then. Just put that down while I do the bone folding. There we go. Right, so that's our card blank, which now measures 10.5 by 14.5. And then we're going to put a panel on there, and I'm going to make my panel out of gorgeous grape, and I'm going to make it 1/2 centimetre smaller, or if you're working in inches you can do it 1/4 inch smaller. So my card blank was 14.5, so I'm going to make it 14. And my card blank was 10.5 wide, so I'm going to make it 10. There we go. So that means that we've got 1/4 centimetre all the way round here, hopefully. There we go. 1/4 centimetre all the way round. Yeah? Okay, and then we need a white panel. So for our panel, we need it 1/4 centimetre smaller again. So this is going to be 13.5. So we were at 4, so the card blank is 14.5. The purple panel is 14. And this panel is 13.5. So they're going down in 1/2 centimetre increments all the time. And then this way round, it was 10.5, 10. So now it's 9.5. And that is going to sit on there. Lovely. So those are going to mount onto there like that. Beautiful. Okay, but before we mount it, we're going to do the stamping. So we're going to do exactly the same stamping as we did before. So we're going to start off with Highland Heather. And again, this is not a slow, difficult card to make. It's very simple, but just using the layers, the mats and things just makes it even a bit more special. Right, I'm going to do it there, I think. Just make sure that is nice and inky. Lovely. And then come in with the gorgeous grape. There we Sorry if my head gets in the way here. I just need to be quite well over it just to position that. The way that I find it easy to position this is to look at the pieces at the bottom here where it meets the stem and just try and line them up. Although it doesn't need to be ever such precise placement. It won't look off if you don't get it quite right. And then I need green for the stem, Granny Apple green. Which is going to go there. There we go. Now, because I didn't like having that big space down there, what I did was I cut a strip of cardstock. How wide was it? Let me see. It's about 1.5 inches. 1.4. I'm going to do it in, sorry, 1.5 centimetres. I'm going to do it 1.5 centimetres just to make it easy for you to copy, to replicate. And I'm going to measure on this side of my trimmer just because that makes it easier. So I'm at 1.5 there. So put that down. And that is just going to go on there like that. And that just breaks it up a little bit and it gives us a base to put our greeting on. So let's just do this. Oh, seems to be blocking a bit my Tombow. It's not coming out very freely. To sort that out when I finished making this video. Right, and just put that about a centimetre from the bottom, or 1/2 inch if you're working in inches. There we go. And the Tombow will give you a bit of wiggle room if you don't get it quite straight to start with. Bring in your snips and just snip those off there. I always do this. I always do my strips longer, or my things like this longer, and then trim them off so that you get a really, really flush edge there. And this is all going to mount onto here. So we can now bring in the Tombow if it's going to work. And, oh, it's flowing better now. And then stick these panels down. So first your gorgeous grape panel. There we go. And then your panel that you've done the stamping on. So you can see how quickly this card is coming together and how very easy it is to put together. And beautiful stamping. It's the stamping does all the work for you, really. It's just a beautiful image, this art gallery stamp. And for doing this card, there are some dies that go with it, but I know a lot of my beginners who follow this series don't yet have a die cutter. We will tempt you in eventually, but I don't want to make things with a die cutter. I will introduce die cutting at some point because I have had some questions about it. I haven't introduced it yet on these cards, or not very much. Because I know it's a big expense when you're just starting out on a new hobby. And then we're going to do exactly the same as we did before with our thank you. So we're just going to stamp that on a strip of card. And then just punch it with, I want to call it, I don't know if it's the classic label or the everyday label. One of those. It will be in the list of things. I'll try and put a product list below this video so it will be there. In a minute, actually, I might look it up quickly for you so I can tell you there. And then just pop that on some dimensionals. So I've been talking in a few of my videos about things that I would say were essential. And a pack of dimensionals, I would say, are absolutely essential to your card making. I use them for so many different things, and they do what they say on the tin, really. They give a bit of dimension to your cards, which just adds a bit of interest and just makes them look, that brings them up to above a beginner status, really, so they look more professional. So just taking those, I've put 4 on. You don't need 4 to stick, but you do need, you want to prevent, if that goes through the post, you want to prevent it getting squashed down in the middle, which is why I've used so many there. And then just place that, hopefully, same distance from the top to the bottom and to the side. And that's it. So we've got those 2 cards. Let's just move all this rubbish out of the way. We've got 2 cards in purple and 2 cards in turquoise. Very, very simple to make. Very, very easy beginner projects. Hope you like those. I don't know how many of you have invested in the art gallery stamp set, but I would say this is a really, really fantastic set for a beginner, not only because of these fantastic images, but also all these greetings. If you haven't got a big selection of stamp sets yet, it's really useful to have all these greetings. Sorry. So you could use sorry for a sympathy card, or if you are saying sorry to someone, congratulations, I missed you, good luck, best wishes, you are lovely, I'm thinking of you. Covers most occasions there. So I would say this is a really good buy. So anyway, that's it from me today. Please take a look at my blog. The link will be below and all the details of the project will be on there. The measurements will be written down if you need those. But that's it from me today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, Celebration is still on for another few days. We've only got a few days left. But if you spend £45, you can choose a free item at the moment, a free stamp set or a free pack of paper. So that's a really good deal, but it's only on until the 28th of February. So please get your orders in before then. And that's it. Really is it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will be back with you again very, very soon. Bye bye.